we want to leave a clear thing here. Yeah, you're fine here. Yeah, you can either be that side, or over there. You know, either way, and then we'll just work with it. More people come, then we just tight. We could maybe go. No, that's good. You know, anywhere. Yeah. All right, ready? So this is doing the warm-ups. Hands up like this. I'll turn this way. See if you can follow me. So I got my right hand up. So we're gonna turn. 1, 2, 3. Switch. 1, 2, 3. Switch. 1, 2, 3. Switch. 1, 2, 3. Switch. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So you got to hold the hands up here. Don't let them drop down. Lift them up. But because it might be your shoulders might get tired because they're up. Relax. Let them down. So see, my forearms are actually slightly angled, so my hands are about the height of the shoulder. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and stop. The next position is right in front of the forehead, and then we're going to bend to the side. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And center. Okay. Hands up. Reach down. 1, 2, 3 to your right. To your left. Center. Palms up. Inhale. Exhale. Hands up. Reach down. 1, 2, 3 to your right. 2, 3 to your left. 2, 3. Center. Inhale. Palms up. Exhale. Palms down, and elbows are out to the side. Okay. So when you press down, actually you can cup your shoulders a little bit. You see what happens to my elbows when I roll my shoulders forward? The elbows go out. When I roll the shoulders back, so a lot of times the position of your shoulder, position of your elbow will determine where the hands are going. So when we're doing the low block later on, you'll see that your shoulders should be cupped. They're not back because your hands would only go this far. See? All right. Again, hands up, reach down. 1, 2, 3. To your right, 2, 3. To your left, 2, 3. Center. Let's lift. Inhale. Exhale. Let's try that again. Inhale. So feel like you're pulling up. On your exhale, press down and let your breath drop. So it's really from your diaphragm. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, so every deep breath should have that kind of feeling. All right, now the hands on the waist. Circular movements. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Rose, anyone gonna come here? Someone can step up here if you want. You can move up a little. Yeah, if it gets any tighter, we'll go back to the other room. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Okay, cross. Grab your knees. Circular movements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and stop. Okay, hands in your waist. Neck turning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Back and forth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Center. Tilt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Center. Rotating down. 1, 2, 3. Reverse. 1, 2, 3. Center. Hands up, pull in. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, spread your feet. Turn shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and stop. Okay, stretch it out. Okay, go to the other side, switch. 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 Switching straight in the front knee. Okay, switch. Switch. Okay, switch again, one more time. Okay, to center. So we go to each side. You can spread your feet more. You squat down. Okay, good. Switch. So that actually twists your thigh this way, and then this kind of turns it back up. Then we spread off our knees like this, so you can push your knees back. And then drop one knee. Switch. Switch. Okay, shake it out. Okay, deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, hands here. Ready, center line punch. Switch. And center. Okay, to the side. Okay, so get full extension, but don't lock it. Don't actually lock your elbow. Just let it kind of spring back and forth. There's two directions. There's a forward direction and a backward. So the backward direction is dropping your elbow. So you drop your elbow. Yeah, like that. Okay, center. Now we're here. And center. Switch. And center. Okay, circular movements. Back fist. Switch. And center. Okay, deep breathing. Inhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, hands here. Bend your knees, open. 1, 2, 3.5, down. Extend, punch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right? Let's try it again. Ready? 1, 2. Right? Let's try 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and stop. Close. Low. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is where your shoulder kind of cups a little bit, because if it's way back here, it's going to be kind of stiff. So you let it go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, close. Middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so now you notice when I create the block, they actually pass each other. So you'll have that in the second form when you're chopping, and then we do this. So that action that's like this, and in the fifth form, you're going to find a movement that's like that, where we do one side, then we do the other side, right? So it's 1, 2, see? So that would be a position. This is a position. Then when we transition across, we're here. You see what happens? Then we extend and fold. High block goes up through the center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Now we were to add a waist turn, it would be turning like this, say to the corner. If we turn to the side, it would be like this. Okay, so this is a side block. The frontal center line is actually, if you turn your shoulders, stays in relationship to your center line position. It's just you're turning your body. So that's where sometimes, we kind of mix it up. We think that we're bringing the hand here. But to get the hand there, all you do is have to turn your body. So that's a transition. So the body eventually will know that you have corners. Okay, let's go from here. All three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and stop. Extend. Low block. Punch. Low block. Punch. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Okay, so know what happens when you low block? You turn your shoulder, right? Or you pull. So when you block, you actually preset your position and you're ready to launch the punch. So we just stay sort of rigid and just go like this, then it becomes kind of an isolated moment. You're going to block and then you punch, you block. So they're two separate things. Whereas when you go like this, you set your body up and you're ready to do the punch. You block, you're ready, and you punch. So you'll find that movement in there as you build it. You know, when you're a beginner, it's kind of like this. But as you progress, you have to tie the two sides together. So when you chun kill, you're already loaded. Then when you turn, you go through there, and then you turn your stance. So that's where the footwork, the leg work, and the punch start to tie together, right? Just like when we're here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you find in eighth form, you're going to have a movement like this. 1, and we do this sometimes as a drill. If you close your hand, it looks like this. If you open the hand, it looks like this. But essentially, it's the same movement. So there's where the consistency of movement comes in. And close. Okay, now push to the side. Pull. Push. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go low. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, go up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we'll go middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Extend. Turn. Close. Okay, extend. Close. Okay, close it up. Shake it out. Okay, deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So your forearms on both sides, they sometimes get kind of tight from doing a lot of this, or if you don't control that tension, then your hand doesn't bend very freely. So you can stretch it like this. So stretching out your wrist is just taking your hand and kind of pulling the wrist back. So you stretch and you stretch. So that helps you, like when you're doing these pushing type movements and you want this to come back as far as you can without physically doing it, then you can stretch it out a little on both sides. Then you bend it this way to stretch the forearm. So that becomes like a hook. We have movements like that that's like a crane. So that's a crane's beak. Your hands would end up like that. So you stretch in both directions. You can feel it right up in here. You stretch like this, you get this part, the shoulder here, and stretch like this. Okay. So you can feel it crossing your body, right? Then if you lock your fingers together, okay, and then you do this, then you create an action between the two sides. So you're going like this. If you reverse it, it would be like this. And then stretch your fingers, lift it up, pull it out, put it down, elbow out, flip it over, so we do actually some of these in Tai Chi, but also you can make circles with your legs. Then reverse. Then you do the other side. And Okay. So that just gets your lower half the joints working. Because sometimes when you're in the stance and you have to do this, your thighs actually turn out and they turn in, depending. Because when you're turning, you're actually turning and then extending. And then if you turn back, so we open our stances, we actually have to create an arc in the legs, to define your leg work. So while we're doing movements in space, when I trace an arc like this, that's actually creating a semicircle. It's a half moon. So that's like a half moon step. You open your stances to do this, right? So you can imagine if someone's leg is there in a stance and you wanted to go, you wouldn't want to bump into the leg when you step. So to avoid the leg, you either go this way or you go behind this way or you come around this way. So you're learning to move around an object. So footwork is not always just a forward crashing movement. So whenever we're in a stance and we're saying we're like this and we move like this and like this, that's really stepping back, avoiding, or person comes in this way, you can step this way, and now you have locked your legs. So that's a leg technique. So footwork is not just a stance, it's actually a transition. So the better you do your footwork, the better your form actually will look. So a lot of things we have footwork that's mapped out as a form, but then there's strategies in stepping. See, when we step, it's learning how to coordinate your body and shift your weight. So shifting of your weight is the most important part. So when we're in a solid stance like this, and we bend, we actually don't have weight on this. So this is what a misunderstanding is. You do that. You actually should step, shift, step, and shift. So you have much more control when you do that, right? Just like when we're in this position and we twist and we shift and then we kick. So we don't want to just do the 2 punches and then throw the kick. We want a 1, right? Want a 1, 2 as a motion, upper body, 1, 2, a coordinated motion. So when the hand goes out and the other side goes, it's a hand and leg, and then you kick. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, right? So once you get that mechanics in your movement, it happens spontaneously. When you throw up, every time you punch and kick, you're going to be shifting and twisting. 1, 2, kick. 1, 2, kick. 1, 2, kick. Good. 1, 2, good. 1, 2, kick. Hands and feet, hands and legs. 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay, switch, other side. 1, 2, right? 1, 2, kick. 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 So the upper body is twisting with the lower body. Okay, next, switch. Heel kick. Heel kick's a push. So when we push, we have to go 1, 2, push. Lift the knee as high as you can. And it only has to be about waist level. It doesn't have to go way high. You know, the maximum range of your kick is at 90 degrees, right? So if I took his leg, right, yep, and this is 90 degrees. That's the maximum range. As it goes up, actually it gets shorter. So a kick that's this high actually is only this far away as a range. So when it's because it's an arc. You know, if you had an arc, his gets short until it reaches here, then it starts to degenerate, you know, get shorter because it starts to leave the center. So the optimum position for here is there. That's your range of motion. All right, so let's try that again. Ready? Heel kick. Right side heel kick. 1, 2, push. 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 Try to keep vertical. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. Switch the other side. Do we do? Ready? 1, 2, 1, 2. So when we turn the hip. That's, remember we talked about that. You angle, and right there. Boom. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, let's try one slow motion. 1, 2, and push out slowly. Now this time the kick slow. Push and hold, and then back. That really works the top of your thigh, right? Up and push, so you feel, yeah. So that's working your thigh. Okay, next we're going to do the straight kick up. So that's a stretch, and you're just lifting up. So when you go 1, 2, you lift. It is a stretch, but where would you kick? If you're like this, that's as far as you have to kick. That's a shin kick. You want to kick the groin, you go a little higher. You want to kick the chin, you go up a little higher. But don't forget, you have to come back down. So in the backstroke is that. So when you slide back, the backward movement is a sweep. If you catch your opponent, that's the trip, that's the takedown. You know, you move behind the opponent and you go like that, that's a sweep. So that's why the backward movement is as important as the forward movement. Because when we do this, you focus on this, but the backward movement is the pullback. The forward movement is the extension. The sweep is here and here. See, so, okay, ready? 1, 2, kick. 1, 2, kick. 1, 2, kick. 1, 2, up. 1, 2, up. 1, 2, up. 1, 2, sweep. 1, 2, and okay, let's switch the other side. Ready, position. 1, 2, sweep. 1, 2, up. 1, 2, up. 1, 2, up. 2, up. 1, 2, up. 1, 2, up. A couple more. 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay, let's one more. Ready? Up and down. Okay, shake that out. Round kick. We're going to get the knee all the way around. So the important thing is from here, you got to bring this around. You have the toe out here, open up the hips. You know what we were doing earlier with the spreading of the knees? Doing this? Well, spreading of the knees is spreading of the hips. So when you spread the hips, it opens you up. You're wound up here and allows you to launch the kick. So we're working the hip girdle. You have to open it up. If that's tight, your round kick's going to be limited in range of motion. Your goal is to bring it around and then do that, right? So, okay, ready? Ready, position. 1, 2, kick. 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 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. So try to hold it up so that you can bring it back. Yeah. So it's really control. Everything we're trying to do is control our movement, control our position. Because if you had to do 2 round kicks off the same leg, you go 1 and then do it twice. Boom. Simultaneously. Boom, boom. Okay, so see how it's, because you have knee position. Boom, right? Right. Boom. Boom. Okay, switch. Other side. Ready? 1, 2, kick. 1, 2, kick. Bring it back. Down. 1, 2, kick. 1, 2, kick. 1, 2, kick. 1, 2, and kick. Okay, good. So one of the things we're going to do is work the balance, holding up the knee like that, getting this knee in position, like doing a hurdle. Then we do the other side, like doing a hurdle. Your foot is like this, and that's getting this position, but also developing balance. So there's so many little drills that you can do on your own to build flexibility, range of motion, and position. Now when our leg is up like this, you see that, that's your knee. When you're folded like this, that's your elbow. So elbows do this, elbows do this, elbows strike, right? Knees, so you actually strike. That's your first part of the movement as a strike. So if you have your opponent, you go like this, that's a knee strike. So the Thai boxers use a lot of knees. Actually, all styles use the knee. But a lot of times when you go like this, even to someone's thigh, boom, that could be pretty painful. If you go like this, like golden cockerel, that's a knee strike. Yeah, so you don't know. If you have your opponent, you're pulling down, and you go like this, that's a knee strike to the head, because your person's bent over. Or you can knee to the stomach. But you have to put your opponent in that position to do that. So that just shows you, how we use our limbs as, techniques. But, whether you're actually using it or not, for direction of movement and understanding what the body should be doing, helps you through that idea to focus on a direction. So, all right, so let's get deep breathing. So let's, you want to step up? We'll do 5 stances. So, because the wire's in your way, you want to go over here? Yeah, Jasmine, you can go over here. And you can move this a little, and then you can go way up here, because there's a lot of room up here. And you can go up here, Max. And you can work, yeah, okay, that's good. If you want to step up, you can, right here, yeah. Because, between the two, there's at least 9 feet. So we got plenty of room, okay. So we're like this, 5 stances, we're going to go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and out. 1, 2, 3, salute. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, fold, straight. 1. Here's that semicircle, right? 1, 2, 3. Punch. Cross step. 1. Turn. Back fist high. Circular movement. 1, 2, 3. Reverse lean. Lift. Hop. Uppercut. Close. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Reverse. Reverse lean. Lift. Hop. Uppercut. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Close. Uppercut. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. Turn. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Uppercut. Okay, so there's only one movement that we can actually add to the turn that you probably didn't realize happens. When the reverse lean and this hand goes to here, when you turn, open your hip, right, and drop this hand like this. So this becomes a turnover, part of a cutting hand. So a turnover, you can have to visualize this, that if something was here and I flip, can you see how I maneuvered around the arm? But I maneuvered around and then I chop like this. So when I bring this hand to here and I do this, that's what actually is happening. So what's happening is, say you even grab my forearm. If I go like this, you see what had happened? So this action is the technique too, right? You see? So if I grab your arm, you just turn, right? So that's changing directions, and you go like this. And you don't have to chop your own hand. You would do this and then maybe chop to the knee or to the leg. So that's what that is. And you don't have to use this. You can actually use this. See, so you can imagine 1, 2. See. So let's try that once. A couple of times like this. Ready? 1. Okay, flip. And then go down. Yeah. So once you flip and you land, you're here. And then you squat. You see? Okay, ready? Try it again. 1, 2, 3. Down. Again. Ready? So track the hand. 1, 2. So if you look in the mirror, it's going to look like this. You can do this. Ready? 1. So you see the pattern? Right. So the important thing is this elbow is doing that. You can't lead with the hand because the elbow doesn't cooperate. You have to lead with the elbow by dropping the elbow and dipping your shoulder. Yeah. So those transitions are actually part of an imagery. So when you drop your shoulder and you turn, you can see what happens. You're already here. But if you didn't turn and drop, then it becomes just a arm movement here and an arm movement there. So once you integrate the movement, you'll have it. All right. Okay, good. So let's step back, deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. So let's see how the first form is looking now. We've made a lot of modifications or adjustments to make it better. So let's see. Ready? Eyes staring straight ahead. So we put the hands here by pulling. So like this, pull. This is an elbow strike. Yeah. So when is that used? If someone's hugging you from behind, or not hugging, but maybe grabbing you, assaulting, then here's your elbow. Here's your elbow. But you would end up doing this to turn. So you don't know for self-defense that's what that is. It's an elbow strike. The elbow strike is a load up for the punch. So not only is it an action like this, and it's action like this, it's actually drawing to prepare and punch. So every time you draw back, think of elbowing. Then it becomes a natural. So we have the elbow that goes this way. We have an elbow goes this way, right? We have an elbow this, this, this. And so they're all variations of elbows. Then we have this elbow. Then we have a vertical elbow like this. We have the rolling elbow. We have a vertical elbow like this. So in third form we have this. So we have lots of variations of elbows. So elbows are mid-range techniques. Long range, mid-range. So what would be a short-range technique? Your shoulder, right? When we go like this or we lean like this, that's using your shoulder. So your first line of defense is out here. The second line goes here. The third line goes here. So when you go like this, that's a shoulder. We have this, so that's in the fifth form. When you go to fifth form near the end, we have what we call a shoulder stroke, like that, right? So you get control of your shoulder, you get control of your elbow, you get control of your hand. So while we're throwing punches and everybody thinks of the fist, we have the chops, we have the thrust, we have the phoenix eye, right? We have actually a leopard, like this, so that's these knuckles. And then we have palms, using this as a surface. We have the back of the wrist actually too, when we lift. So when you lift like this or you lift like this, that's actually using the back. In the praying mantis form, when you go like this or you go like this, we only see this part of it. But how about when we go like this and we go this way, that's actually could be a strike. It could be a strike. So when you turn from here to a back fist, you're using the back of the hand, the wrist. So that's, when we do our forms, that's what we have to identify and then create the focus point. The focus point is the fist, the fingertip, or the single knuckle, and this. And second form, we have this, right? The phoenix. It's the phoenix eye. All right. Okay, so let's do the first form. Ready? With the salute. Eyes staring straight ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. To the back, to the front. We move up, punch, down, up, sliding step, down, up, cross, cut, palm, remove, punch, step to the back, draw, elbow, back fist, palm, high, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Oh, good. Actually, first some looks good because we've been working a lot. You've known it for a while, so it's just part of, how you evolve. All right, let's do second form. Okay, ready? Eyes staring straight ahead. Begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Kick, phoenix. 1, 2, 3. Elbow. strike down. Back fist. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, open, chop, twist, kick, phoenix, butterfly, pivot, scoop, push, cross, cross, push. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sword fingers. 1. Trap. 1. Little extension on that one, a little further, and then when you turn, sink. Right. So we thrust like this long, drop this elbow, see, sink the elbow. That essentially, what we just did was this. So from here, that just drops. So essentially you're back to center, you turn to the corner, and then we're back here. So every maneuver is a setup. Sink the elbow, relax the shoulder. That's a technique. When we just press down in Tai Chi, we do that. Because if I'm here, right, and say Max punches here, I just have to do this. I really don't have to, when I'm here, to back off like this. All I have to do is sink my elbow. Right? We've learned that. So when we do this, 1, 2, 3, reverse the order. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. That becomes a one-sided, one-hand reaction. Because if you're here and you block, that's all you have to do is to do that. So if I go like this and I go like this, I had a combination of movements just like when you guys do the sparring techniques. 1, 2, 3, 4. You go from here to here in a circular punch like that, it becomes a continuous action. So while we do these like this stationary to get the motion, actually when you go like this, then you start to move forward. You have that footwork sort of in the third form, sliding step. It looks like this. It looks like this, but what about this? So it's a slide step in towards your opponent. But you know, it's a sneaky step because when you're like this and you're looking at my hands, you don't know that I'm getting that close because it's just, you know, inching in. So that's how you would kind of, we call it bridging the gap. Because really when you start to use your techniques, you have to judge distance. So distance is really perspective. You know your distance from doing your movements because then you start to recognize how accurately you can throw the movement without touching. But then at the same time, that's the point that you would be able to make contact. You may make impact. So when we're doing our forms, the hand and the eyes are really developing that perception when we lift. Now this movement you should sink. You're closing your center and you're opening. So from here to here, from here to here. Then the efficiency of that movement really comes from how natural it comes out and how efficiently you do it. So when I'm here and I turn, a lot of it is generated by your body. That's all it is. It's no bigger than that. You really don't need anything bigger than that, right? That's what a dragon claw is. So there's different versions. There's this. We even have one like this. Show up in the 8th form. So that's using variations of body leg work to create another movement. This is moving away. This is moving away. This is moving away. But all the movements that move away like this ends up spinning like this. So that's really avoid, return, and then go back. So it becomes just a technique, a strategy. So, okay, let's just do the butterfly a couple times. So we're here. 1, 2, pivot. 3. So between this and the hands and legs, boom. Try to get that foot to go at the same time. Take the step and then lean, boom. Now we take the step, this goes together, 1. This goes together, 2. This goes together here, boom. Okay, now here we step through center, 1. So from here, once you step up, you want to go into a horse stance and drop. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now remember we talked about this. Right? 1, 2. This is loaded up. 3, right to the neck. Okay, so it's not horizontal to the neck. It's angular to the neck. Right? So here, 1. Look at that slant, right? So here to there. That's where your neck is. Your reference point is just your own neck. Because we could have like 1,000 heights for different necks, depending on how tall the person. So when we do a movement, it's really relative to ourselves. 1, 2. You're looking to strike at that point. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. But we're here. 1, but then it has to go up, and then we drive it in like that. You see what I mean? So the angle of, so this is a little bit too flat. It's more like that. Because what you're doing is chopping into here, and maybe this bone right here, the clavicle. If you break this bone, this doesn't work anymore. So, not that you're planning to do that, but just as a visualization, that's what you're doing. Boom. Right? And then next movement, we're going to adjust. Right? So the waist is turned. 1, boom. The power comes from the turn. Right? So we don't have to force the elbow. We just have to turn the shoulders. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is arc. Boom. Let's try it again. Let's do this 3 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you see, the techniques are reversible. One leads, it's a back fist. Back fist leads to dropping palm. Dropping palm becomes a back fist. And it goes back and forth. Once you're here, so you have to coordinate the feet, the lean, the feet, the lean, the feet, the lean, and this. I took that from the first form as an uppercut to a punch. So you see where these movements become combinations of movement. And, you start to be able to respond from positions you already know. You have the dropping palm, you have the back fist. You know this, so you can just take this and this, this and this. That's reversible. This is reversible. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what's the purpose of reversible? Well, do you reverse the action? It's because if I block like this, my next move is going to be down. If my hand is here, my response would be here. If my hand is here, my response would be here. So we never really start from scratch. It moves from position to position. We always, because the response is like that. If you open here, you're going to do this. You're not going to do this and then create some block that's not practical. You would move from where you are. So when we're doing these, what are we doing? We're responding from the punch. Because when you punch like this, then your options are what? Go high, middle, or low. That's your option. But you have to learn how to do that. You have to train your body to respond. So the accuracy of this really becomes that. Why does my hand go here? Because we know that we have this. When the hand goes down, this has to go up. When this goes down, this has to go up. When this goes to here, this has to go here. So it's just, it's the secondary hand. Your secondary hand always has to be coordinated and working as a relationship with your other hand, because it has to protect an area, because that's where you left yourself open. So if I go like this, then I'm covered here. If I just go like this, then I'm exposed here. So then something has to happen here. So, understanding form is really, something that you have to work with, because you develop sort of analytical skills. When you have a technique and we say, okay, so how do you use that movement? You have to set up a scenario. What's that scenario? It's what you imagine those movements to be. But meanwhile, what I do is I'm teaching you literally what those are, but then, there's an infinite amount of responses that you could use, as a technique or a reaction. So we don't have any of this built in as a reflex yet. It's still kind of being programmed. And once it's programmed into your body, when it becomes second nature, subconscious behavior, then it becomes reflex. So sometimes people think, well, I know how to punch, I should be able to defend myself. Well, not really. Only because you know how to punch, but you haven't punched at a target yet. You haven't punched at a moving target yet, and you haven't punched at someone that actually force you to block before you punch. So that's really something that's developed, whether it's a two-person technique or just working with a partner, moving from side to side, learning how to turn the corners. So, okay, so let's go to the third form. Then after that, we'll do some side work, sidestepping drills, so you kind of understand how to move. Because while we're in the form, that's mapped out to show you transitions. But the basic thing is when we start to move from side to side or back corners, so like you're moving, so that's footwork, but taking it into very simple movements, because that's how you actually learn to react. Okay. All right, so let's do the third form. Ready? Do we have enough room? Everybody have? So we can shift this way a little because it goes that way. So, have you finished it? No. So we'll work it. And you want to come here? You go in the middle, and you can just follow along with us. We'll go all the way to the end if we can. Right? Ready? Opening like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Lunge. Step through. Punch. Cross step. Grab. Punch and knee. Step down and elbow. Back fist. Turn. Poke. Thrust. Pull. High block. Ginger knuckle. Hook. So actually the mirrors, you see the big advantage to see yourself moving as you lunge. Catch your elbow. Go down. Go up. Hop. 1, 2. Lunge. Step through. Grab. Pull. Push. Hook. Step up to leaning. Step up to cat stance. High block. Okay, here's that dropping elbow. And we just do this. Okay, hook. Twist, pull the legs back together. Double elbow in horse stance. Okay, Brian, you can come back out here. You see, like, yeah. So we're here. Step out like this. So once you're in the double elbow position, put your hand like this, step out, and then slice. Adjust your feet, punch. High block. Okay, and then we're going to sweep. Okay, sweep, sweep. Now we're going to hop. Kick, kick and poke, slap, chop, hook. 1, 2, 3, here. 1, 2, 3. Uppercut. Sweep. 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 Turn. Sweep. 2. Sweep and chop. So that sweep and chop. Let's go back one step. So sweep and chop looks like this. 1, 2, hook, hook and chop. So you're like this. Now your hand goes here to a left hook, a left back fist, which is the first time you have this, and then cross, hop, 1, 2, 3, punch, sit back, turn, and close the form. Turn, turn to the front, double elbow, hands like this as you shift your weight to your left leg, step up and press down. So one of the things, as you evolve, it's the timing in your movements. When you move, the legs and hands have to end together. See, so everything is timed. Thrust, pull, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So movements are synchronized. So one of your goals is to get your synchronization through building that coordination. Okay. All right, deep breathing. So let's try that again from the beginning, all right? Ready? From here. Okay. Yeah, Iris, you can come here. And look in the mirror. Step through. Cross. Punch. Elbow. Back fist. Turn. Thrust. Pull. High. Ginger knuckle. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Catch. Stomp. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Elbow, leaning, cat stance, high, scoop, double up. 1, step out. 2, slice, punch. Okay, turn, left sweep, right sweep, hop, kick. 1, 2, at the waist, 3, 4, vertical elbow, punch, 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 uppercut, sweep once, sweep twice, sweep 3 times, and then we turn. 1, 2, sweep and chop. Hook, back fist, pull back, hop, 1, 2, lunge, punch, pivot, cross the arms, 1, 2. Okay, step, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So the horizontal movements like this. So let's use the mirror as a tool. So we're like this, right? So this is hooking like this. So this is in front of the shoulder, and this is in front of the shoulder. But when we do this, we're actually over here, right? Let's turn this way. So the direction of this movement is like this. If I unwind my hand and I flip it over, then the direction of movement ends up here. See? So how do we get our hand here? Is because we turn away. We turn away. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, turn away. So what we don't see sometimes is when I turn away, I'm pulling. Right? If I turn this way, I'm pulling as a separation. So now when we do this, and I include this foot that's going there, then this goes like this. Hey, John. So you can see, now here's the hand, but then I have to turn my foot out like this, and now my hands are gonna do this. They're crossing, and I go the opposite way. We fold the elbow, flip it over, the foot goes out, the hand goes the opposite way. So we slow it now. 1, 2, 3, right? So this is going to go winding it up. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And then we try it again. Reverse and sweep. Yeah. So, right. So, everyone has a different, ability with coordinated movements. So this is the easiest way to flip your hands over, because you're like this. This is a reversing of a movement. If you separate the hands, this is reversing the movement. It's reversing a ball. If you took a ball like this and you turn it over, just like if you had a jug of water and you kind of were shaking it, that's how you would do that, right? But we don't see that as an action when we're doing this, because we're just thinking of that technique. But that's all you're flipping it over, you're flipping it. Now, the ability to flip that, the size of the circle really is the space. But we're here, and then I turn, I'm coming to here, and then I separate. 1, 2, 3. So what happens is I'm folding my elbow to create the first action. I flip the hands over, I fold my elbows, and then I extend the long one. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you turn away. Yeah, so you would do that. So this is extreme. This is the motion. So that's taking into this space. Now if I do this, and I do this, I added that component of the sweep in this direction, and we're here. That's it. So once you get that basic coordination, then the turn, if I'm here, this shows up in the form 1, 2. So that's the 180-degree turn with that movement. Yeah. So you want one hand to follow the other. They don't actually just do that. They actually cycle 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You want the hands to kind of one following or leading the other hand. So that looks much more coordinated and right. Okay, right. So you have that now. Turn. Turn. Now when you turn, put some effort into this, because that's what that is catching if you had to. So even though the hand is just doing this, you might be doing this. See? So what you would see is if my hand intercepted his hand here, and I turned it, that would be there. You see what happened? And I still have this. If the other hand came, punch again, it would be this. And it would be this. So while we're sweeping with this finger could be going boop. It could be poking an eye. That wouldn't be a nice thing to do, but that would, that's what actually probably you're looking to do, or to the throat. You would strike like this. And then the leg is a trip. You're like this. Then you have a hook. You're hooking his foot. The hand goes like this. So you may not sweep with a forceful movement, but if you hook the foot and you went like this, and the person went like this, they would trip over your foot because they're not paying attention to that. So at least they would be off balance. So, all right, deep breathing. So let's do some sidestepping. All right, so what is sidestepping? This is your vertical position. We can step off like this, because going to the corner is just like when we do this, or this, or this, or this. There's an angled stepping. So it's really going, so the simplest way is to lean, right? And then turn the corner is this. Okay, so if I go like this, 1, 2, I stepped around. So this is, you have to imagine your opponent here. You're stepping to the side, and you're turning back toward your target. And then if you go back to center to reset, it would be like this. If I step to this corner, and then I turn the corner this way, I just avoided, and I moved in. So what can you use as a technique when you step? You could do this. You could do this as avoidance. So you avoid first and you defend. If I go like this, there's your dragon claw. You see? So I'm going to step to the side and do this. Follow up with this. Step to the side with this. Follow up with this. Step to the side like this. Follow up with that. So in practical movement, if I'm, say, you're going to sidestep, right? So you move this way, 1. So your first hand would block here. And then that would be like that. Second hand would be like this. You see what happens? It's a double movement. 1, 2, 3, 4. How does that look if you were using it in action? If he threw a punch, it would look like that. That's the footwork. So the footwork all blended together. See, 1, 2. Because we know Dragon Claw is this. We know Dragon Claw is this. But when I move, it becomes integrated but very efficient, because the first line of movement is this. He punches, I'm here. Second one is there. You see? So what do you do once you're here? You have this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the most basic sidestep. You could turn it into anything you want. But the first thing you have to do is learn this, or even this, or even this. So what we did earlier, the middle block, like this, becomes a changeover. So while we're doing this as a fundamental, right, we don't realize that we're actually building a movement that becomes an exchange. So when I sidestep to here, and I turn, I sidestep to here and turn, there's that exchange of movements. There's that exchange of movement. You see, from the punch to this, there's that exchange of movement. There's that exchange. So the cross hand position as you switch becomes this. It could become this. Depends on whether you're angling like this, like this, like this. In the second form, those last two movements where you go like this, or the phoenix eye, that movement can be here, can be here. You see? So, in form, these are camouflaged in the movements. You don't really see them until you begin to understand how these movements work. And once you get to that point, that's what I mean by, analyzing the motion. Now you have this, and when you break it down, it doesn't look exactly how it was in the form because it's been adapted to a technique. So the first line of defense would be here, and then here, here, and then here. Other thing you can do is take a step to here, one, and punch. So you're punching in this direction, take a step and punch. Okay, so there's a couple of samples. And you could also do this. 1, 2, 3. Use your circular punches. So how does that work? You'd go like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. If I'm in this corner, now I can go like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, when you turn in 45-degree increments. If I turn here, I don't have to turn to that corner. That's just a drill. I turn back to center. I'm back in the vertical line. I could turn here. I could turn there. I could turn back to here. For every action, you have a leg work, you have a hand. So you see, this takes you into a whole different realm of why these form movements that you've been learning turn into techniques, which is something that we kind of have to focus on. That's why when we do the drills, where you're like this and you're back, and that's teaching you some forward movement, some footwork, and then you begin to recognize this. There's a block. That's a block. That's a block. So let's get back to ready on guard position again. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. So in this position, if you turn like this, you would swap the hands or drop your elbow and it becomes this. But if you did this, you're not going to hit anything because your target's going to be gone. So you have to move. If I want to go back into this direction, you go like this. So what is this? You've learned the fourth form, right? Some of you. When we punch, and then we turn here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. So when we're here and we turn, if my hand is here and I turn, there's my technique. If I turn, there's my technique. You see, the subtle adjustment of this to this was a transition. That's all it is. But it taught you to go from here to here. But if you don't mindfully think of this technique as this, then you don't have the idea that the hand does move like that. So if he punched on that, do the short punch in the form, like you were doing in the form, right? Yeah, you're in the form. So now my punch goes here. What does he do? He just turns. That's it. That's all you have to do. You don't even have to go over to here. You just have to turn to this, and then right away that comes up. And then this pulls down and cycles. Boom, boom, boom. So even though in the form we go like this, 1, 1, 2, you can go 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So because it's a cycle. But you're not going to stand here, you have to move. So you use the footwork. So that's a sliding step. A sliding step is moving like this. So if you can coordinate the hand movement, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. For every action below, there's action above. So you move. Let's see if you can coordinate that. We have the sliding step. This is holding the position, but then you're punching. We have that punch too, right? We lunge, we lunge. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 2. Yeah. Cycle. 1, 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You could take a step and do 2 punches. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can vary it if you want, just to see what it feels like. Okay, you want to try it? Ready? Go. Yeah. Okay. So you know when the power has to be issued at. So your feet have to stop, just like the foot stops. The foot stops. Then interim is sort of the soft side of the movement till you focus on the real strike. So, right. So that's how you would use that. Now, using that same footwork, all right, if you hook like this and you back fist like this, that would be a hook and a back fist. If you did a back fist and you strike down and a back fist and a strike down and a back fist, that gives you the opportunity to move forward, right? So just trying to teach you some mobility, because everybody can move their hands, and some people can move their hands really fast. But it doesn't matter how fast your hands are. If you can't hit the target because it's too far away, how do you get there? You have to learn how to move. So footwork is the hardest thing to do. You know, if you play tennis or something like that, what's the first thing you have to do? It's not swing at the ball. You have to step where the ball's going, and then you have to swing the racket. So you learn footwork first, or at least they teach you footwork, and then you follow with the hands. Because anybody can do this, but where's the ball? It's all over the place. So your opponent is all over the place. Where do you go? You have to follow it. So the hand-eye coordination is all part of this. You know, it's a strategy, but then you build it through your traditional form to build the imagery. So the imagery is changing your body form to avoid. You know, first line of defense is to not be there when the punch comes. So if he punches toward me, I have to be away. I don't want to be. I could go like this, he punch, and back away, but I can't, counterattack. So when you're here and I use my hand, I go like this. He punches, I'm like this. So I did a small sidestep, because when you practice a sidestep, that's what you're learning, how to shift your weight and then move here. But if I move too far here and I go this way, it's telegraphed, and you're really in the wrong place. So you refine the line as you start to move, because it starts to become part of the integration of your movement. So the more you move, the less you move. You see what I mean? When you don't move, then you reach. So reaching is really a fault. You shouldn't overreach in any of your techniques. So, and that's what we try to learn is overreaching. You reach a point of imbalance, or you're off balance, and you reach a point where power actually starts to diminish. Because once it gets out here, you really have no course of action except to pull back. So if you're going to reach out, why not take a step and get closer? Then you don't have to overreach. See? So that's what footwork is for. So you understand these concepts? Yeah. So when you practice your forms, really focus on that kind of a thing. It's footwork, body mechanics, coordination. Okay, here, deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. So what time is it? I think it's pretty close, yeah. So let's go to the other side and we'll bow out. Yeah, we're going to bow out on the other side. Yeah, we're going to bow out on the other side. Watch the cheers. We're going to bow out. Yeah, we had the cameras going on the other side. So got a couple of stripes. So so Adrian, you get a few stripes to put on your belt. How's your sewing abilities? Okay. You don't have so okay. I guess you have to do. Okay, so stand here. So you get your. Want a picture? Yeah. Okay, face this way, and then I give you the stripes, and you just accept them in two hands like that. Yeah, and then you put them in one hand, and then do a salute. Bow 3 times. That's just a bow. Yeah, and then you face this way and do a salute. Okay, ready? Okay. So Adrian was she signed up just before the pandemic, and she streamed for 5 months and learned the forms that way, and then came back, and she already knew a lot. So she just got her red belt after six months. So okay, ready? We'll bow again. And so she put a lot of effort in. Well deserved. Okay. Okay, good.